Hello and welcome to the stream. It's really cool to see so many of you here. So my name is Ash Tregay. I am the producer for Evil Genius 2 here at Rebellion.
And I'm Rich Edwards. I'm the lead designer on Evil Genius 2.
We are so excited to finally be allowed to talk to you guys publicly about Evil Genius 2. They've let us out for about 15 minutes. Now, I can say that we are all safe. We are all working from home because these are obviously strange and unprecedented times. That does come with a few caveats, of course. You will notice parts of my head disappear as I move from left to right. You may even see parts of our living rooms behind us. And if you're really lucky and I'm really unlucky, my cat may attack me halfway through the stream. That said, the whole team are safe. The whole team are working hard, finishing the game for you guys.
So today we are here to bring you a high-level briefing of the upcoming Spy-Fi lair builder in which you are a criminal mastermind. We're coming to Steam later this year and we're going to ask you to construct an evil lair to train a legion of minions, defend your operation from the forces of justice, and ultimately achieve global domination. So listen up team, there's a new player on the underground and it's Evil Genius 2 World Domination.
So we are, of course, making a direct sequel to Elixir Studios' original Evil Genius way back from 2004. Evil Genius being the original world domination simulator and a classic take on criminal empires and the forces of justice, those do-gooders, working against them.
So this sequel is a real passion project for basically everybody on the team. And being a true sequel, there's a lot that's truly new in there, but we are working hard to preserve the core of that original game. Essentially, the project started as a bit of a love letter.
Cool. So if you are a fan of the original Evil Genius, there is a lot you are going to recognize in Evil Genius 2, not least of which being some returning faces and returning characters for Evil Genius 2. So Maximilian, Red Ivan, Jubei, Eli Barracuda all return in Evil Genius 2. Some are more changed than others. Now, if you've not played the original Evil Genius 2, please don't worry. No knowledge of the original game is required to fully enjoy Evil Genius 2. So the first question to ask yourself when you start up Evil Genius 2 is, what kind of an evil genius am I? Now, when we asked ourselves that question on the development team, there were 4 distinct answers. So to correspond with that, we're giving you guys 4 distinct evil geniuses to choose from, each of whom has their own narrative campaign, their own unique abilities, and their own plans for their very own doomsday device.
So we are going to be talking about half of those evil geniuses today. We're going to be talking about the first 2. The first is Red Ivan. Now, he's a returning character from the first game. That's him in red, looking angry. Now, he's a firm believer in the idea that might makes right. And if you've played that first game, you'll have loved and hated him for the same reason, his endless rampages. In the intervening years, he's calmed down a bit. He's lost an eye, lost a hand, gained a metal fist in a replacement. And he has calmed down a bit, and now he's aiming to take the world by storm himself, but he still carries his bazooka just in case. Now, Maximilian, on the other hand, is a gold standard of evil. This guy just screams evil. He's there in purple in front of you. Now, he focuses on having a large minion population and generally just having a good all-round approach to world domination.
And of course, he is totally distinct from other short, follically challenged evil geniuses because he doesn't have a cat. Now, Max and Ivan are joined by 2 brand new evil geniuses for Evil Genius 2, and we will be revealing more about them at a later date. So, Rich, what do you actually do in Evil Genius 2?
Well, once you've chosen your evil genius, you are going to then choose your island and then set your eyes firmly on world domination. So to that end, you'll be building your lair, training the minions, and finally just confronting the forces of justice. Now that does sound like hard work, but don't worry about that because you'll have minions on your side, although you will need somewhere to keep them all. Ash, do you want to tell us about the island?
Absolutely. So you'll have seen the island shown here in our reveal trailer last year, and then in engine in our brand new gameplay trailer. This is actually one of a selection of tropical islands that you can choose from at the start of each campaign in Evil Genius 2. So your combination of your evil genius and your island lair and your difficulty all combine to make your problem space, if you like, for the whole campaign. Now, the island selection impacts quite a lot, from the structure of the lair that you can build, your ability to defend that lair against the force of justice, and then your location on the world stage as well. As we said, this is a single evolving problem space for the duration of a full campaign. We don't kick you out to a second island halfway through. We don't make you replay things on different levels. This is your home for the whole campaign. Now, in that sense, the island layer really is a central character of the game, and one that you literally build your way and shape it to fit your playstyle as you go through that narrative campaign. Your loyal minions will do the actual building for you, of course, and with relative ease compared to the first game, thanks to the introduction of the Layer Builder 5000 you can see them using in this clip. The Layer Builder is a multi-tool that lets minions do everything from dig through solid rock, paint walls, and transport everything from the foes of your enemies through to the very heaviest of layer equipment. Now, the cover operation in the top right of the screen here is your first line of defense against Force of Justice. So those of you who are Evil Genius 1 fans will know that the cover operation was something you could choose to basically completely ignore in the first game. Now, while we still want to give you that flexibility of how much or how little do I invest in my cover operation, whatever you decide, the cover operation is your first line of defense against the Force of Justice. It's your attempt to kind of slap a semi-honest facade onto your criminal empire and say, no, there is no evil lair, there's just this slightly gaudy gold-plated casino. It's fine, don't go through that door. Now, once you go through that door into the lair itself, you'll see a massive uptick in the kind of level of technology on display, and you'll discover all manner of wonderful and horrible devices your minions can enjoy. A few examples you can see at the bottom of the screen here. So you've got the Super Serum Machine, where your minions can go where you want them to exceed their abilities beyond the normal human limits. My personal favourite, the Brainwasher, where with just a little bit of screaming, you can take those pesky agents and turn them into your own minions. And of course, World Domination, the video game, just to make sure that even during their downtime, your minions can still continue to hone their criminal craft. Of course, someone does have to build all this for you, and that's where your minions come in. Rich, do you want to talk to us a bit about minions?
So at the start of every single campaign, you're going to have a small team of workers, and they'll have a randomly assigned gender, appearance, and name, but they will also have their own personality traits which affect their behavior and effectiveness within the lair. For example, you might have a greedy minion who demands more gold in return for his loyalty, or another minion who might be impatient and always rushing about trying to get things done, but not really paying attention to anything going on around him. You may have an ex-Force of Justice agent working for you who can more accurately see through the disguises of his former peers. Now, these minions will start as standard workers. They're generalists. They're going to be digging through rock. They're going to be going to the furniture depot to bring back the items that you've ordered. And they're generally going to be doing all of the menial tasks within your lair. But as you expand throughout the world, as you set your sights on the final goal of taking the world as your own, you'll be recruiting and upgrading these minions, training them to have new skills, turning them into more specialist versions of themselves. Now, they'll be specializing over the course of 3 trees. That's the science tree, the muscle tree, and the deception tree. Each one has multiple specialists within it, and Ash is going to tell us a little bit about them now.
I sure am. So here we have just a few examples of the specialist minions that Rich was just talking about. So in the center of the screen, we have an example of the Deception Minion. This is a valet. Now, Deception Minions, their key job basically is to man the cover operation. They're there to intercept and distract any Force of Justice agents trying to sneak through into the lair proper. Now, they're there to convince both civilians and Force of Justice agents alike that there is no evil there. This really is just the glamorous, gaudy casino it seems to be. Please don't go through that door, all of that good stuff. Now, when they inevitably fail to be super effective at that, that's when your muscle minions, like the Hitman, take a far more direct approach to dealing with those intruders. As you might expect, they're there to capture or outright kill anyone who's seen things they shouldn't, and given their lofty position within the muscle tree, they're able to use more advanced weaponry to do so. Finally, your science minions, like the biologist on the left here, though they're not much use in a fight, in fact they're pretty terrible in a fight, they will try to run away if they're able to do so, are super useful as your evil R&D department. They're your path to researching and unlocking all manner of weird and wonderful technologies, new equipment, new weapons, and new traps to use across your lair. So that is just one example of each minion type in the different trees. Again, we'll be talking more about those at a later date, but until then, the eagle-eyed amongst you have probably spotted some other specialist minions in our new gameplay trailer. Rich, do you want to talk to us a bit about Henchmen, please?
So Henchmen are one of the things I am most excited to start revealing from today onwards. We are going to be talking about these more in the coming days, but for now, we're just going to give you an overview of what they are. Over the course of your campaign, you're going to be able to recruit a special and powerful henchmen to aid you in your quest for world domination. They are there to complement your playstyle. They represent a strong right hand. They're able to take direct orders and combat the strongest of foes. For example, you might have somebody who, with muscles and guns, is able to defeat anybody within the lair, or you might have somebody else who, using deception and guile, keeps people in that cover operation, preventing them from ever finding anything suspicious at all. The henchman you recruit is going to affect your entire game, and the minions you recruit, the henchmen you recruit are going to affect your entire game and really change the way that you approach world domination. So those are your henchmen, but they have a life outside of you. They are powerful characters in their own right. And before you meet them, they are crime lords, each with their own goals and their own organizations on the world stage. Now, if you uncover them, you'll be going head-to-head against them in a short series of objectives that ultimately see you either bringing them into the fold, welcoming them on board, or dropping them into a shark tank. So it's up to you how you want to play this game. It's up to you which allies you make and how you defend your lair. But obviously there's going to be people out there trying to stop you, and those are the forces of justice. Ash, you can take us through those?
Sure thing. So in almost any other game, these would be the protagonists, because they are, after all, the good guys. They are the guys with the smug smiles, punchable faces. They are the forces of justice. These do-gooders return from Evil Genius 1 and continue to work against you as the player, trying to uncover your misdeeds, impede or destroy your progress toward world domination, and generally make your life difficult. So each force of justice in the game has a range of specialist agent types at their disposal, from the humble investigators who will be doing their best to disguise themselves and blend in with your other minions to reach the very heart of your evil lair, through to saboteurs who will be wandering around with massive debt packs on their back and trying to destroy your power generators and other infrastructure across the lair, through to soldiers who are basically just there to kill everyone potentially evil in sight. So if regular agents weren't enough of a threat, you'll also have to contend with really powerful super agents. These are larger-than-life characters, in some cases more literally than others, as you can see from the luchador in the back there, and are basically the force of justice foils to your own henchmen. So each of those will need you to basically combat them in a range of ways and uncover what their unique weakness is before you're able to defeat them completely. So, Rich, what can we do to defend our lair? Is it just down to minions and henchmen?
Wave after wave of minions is a decent way of defending your lair, and henchmen are more than capable of holding their own against any of these agents. But one of the best ways to defend your lair is to have the lair defend itself using traps. Now, these traps are effective against intruders. They are a key means to hinder, capture, and neutralize forces of justice. So you'll want to supplement your defenses by researching and deploying a series of these throughout your lair. Last year, we showed you the fan trap, the laser wall, and the shark tank, leading to an investigator's demise. But this year we're showing you the boxing glove in the gameplay trailer, and we have a few more on screen now, most of which are fairly self-explanatory. My personal favourite, though, is the large carnivorous plant in the foreground. This is actually a returning trap from Evil Genius 1. We call it the Venus Spy Trap, and it's now the ultimate in the lair plants. So you can use traps in isolation, but it's important to remember that they are far more effective in combination, causing additional damage and additional effects. You'll be using all of these things to defend not only yourself, but also your island and your henchmen, and then looking to spread out across the globe. You are the heart of a global criminal organization, and you will be seeking to subvert the forces of justice on every battleground across the world. So you will be sending minions out to complete various schemes and bring back you'll be sending minions across the world to bring back various things. Gold is a staple for building these things, but you'll also be bringing back materials that you need to build your own doomsday device, as well as loot items with an array of strange effects, such as the sword in the stone we showed you in the gameplay trailer. Now, once you've retrieved all of these things, once you've built your doomsday device, that's it. You will be ready to face the forces of justice. Although it is worth noting that your doomsday device is a key part of your journey, and you're going to need to test fire at it at least once before you get to that final ultimatum. So expand your influence, combat the forces of justice, and finally take over the world. This is almost all we have time for, but we have one last thing which we would like to share with you today.
So guys, thank you so much for joining the stream today. As we said, we're really excited to finally be able to talk to you guys directly about our work on Evil Genius 2. Now, if you want to keep up to date with the very latest in what's going on with Evil Genius 2, please don't forget to, first and foremost, follow this channel. We also have the standard social media links below, so Twitter, Discord, Facebook, Instagram, all links below. And we have a lot more to share with you over the coming months as we approach our release date later on this year. But before we do, as Rich said, we've got one more thing we want to share with you right now. So you guys may have already seen and heard that James Hannigan has returned to the world of Evil Genius to compose a new original soundtrack for Evil Genius 2. James Hannigan, of course, famous now for his incredible game soundtracks on franchises such as Command & Conquer, Harry Potter, Dead Space, and of course the original Evil Genius 2. Evil Genius 2.
I mean, he did work on the original Evil Genius 2, but he also worked on the original Evil Genius. Now, as huge fans of James's work, we've been consistently delighted as more of this soundtrack is added to the game, and we wanted to take the time today to share some of that with you today. So for the next few minutes, we would like you to just relax, sit back, and enjoy the taste of the sounds of Evil Genius 2, as composed by James Hannigan.